Climate science predicts that this century we will suffer catastrophic consequences of accelerating global warming. Yet the government's response has been to turn a blind eye. Why does this issue not have more political traction, and with what urgency will you address it if you are elected president?
Yeah, thank you. You know, before I ran for Congress, I served on our Honolulu City Council, a district that is one of the largest city councils in the country, represented close to 100,000 people. And one of the things that we went through in our deliberations and bringing in experts and meeting with planners, city planners, was the impact of climate change on our home as an island state. This wasn't some far-off theory or some possibility in the next generation that people might have to face. This was in the next 10, 15, 20 years, how much are the sea levels going to rise that are going to start taking over our communities? And we're seeing this now. There was just a resolution passed in Hawaii calling for an emergency because homes and roads are being eroded because of these rising sea levels in the ocean. So we know how urgent this is, as do many people in this country. I think there are a number of reasons we can look to why Washington hasn't taken this more seriously, and I think one of the big ones is the big influence of money in politics, as well as industries like the fossil fuel industry continue. You have high-powered lobbyists who try to block and get in the way of real legislation being passed. But this is something that will require us as people to stand up and make sure that our voices are heard to the leaders of this country to understand the seriousness of this threat and how bold action must be taken to protect us, to protect our home and our planet and our future. Yes, there are things that we can do in our everyday lives to try to make this change, but this really needs to happen at the national level, and it needs to happen at the global level. Even if we made the kind of change we need to see, the radical change we want to see here in this country to completely get off of fossil fuels and invest in green economy and sustainable infrastructure and make the kinds of changes we want to see, that still will not have enough of an impact unless we are seeing these kinds of changes also being made in other countries in the world. This is why it's so important that we have relationships with these other countries that are based on cooperation so that we can talk about how we can protect our environment, how we can protect our future. If we can't have those conversations, then there's no possibility for progress there.